in a lush green forest, there lived a hungry fox. The fox had been roaming around all day, searching for food, but he hadn't found anything to eat. His stomach grumbled with hunger, and he grew tired and weak. Just when he thought he couldn't go on any longer, he came across a vine filled with juicy, ripe grapes. The grapes were hanging high on the vine, just out of the fox's reach. The fox's eyes sparkled with delight as he looked at the succulent fruit. He licked his lips in anticipation and immediately tried to jump and grab the grapes. However, no matter how hard he tried, the grapes remained just beyond his reach. Undeterred, the fox stepped back and tried again, with all his might. He leaped higher and higher. But the grapes were still out of his grasp. Each time he failed, the fox grew more frustrated. He refused to give up, though, as the tantalizing aroma of the grapes wafted through the air. After several more failed attempts, the fox finally admitted to himself that he couldn't reach the grapes by jumping. Disappointed and feeling defeated, he sat down and stared up at the grapes, his mouth watering. In his frustration, he muttered to himself, "Those grapes are probably sour anyway. I bet they're not even worth eating." The fox tried to convince himself that he didn't really want the grapes. He turned away, pretending not to care anymore. Deep inside, however, he still longed for those delicious grapes. The hungry fox walked away from the vine. He couldn't stop thinking about the grapes he had left behind. He realized that it was easier to pretend that he didn't desire something rather than admitting his failure. The fox's pride got in the way of his hunger, and he convinced himself that he didn't want the grapes simply because he couldn't have them. The moral of the hungry fox and the grape story is that we often despise what we cannot have. It teaches us not to let our pride or frustration blind us from appreciating the value of something just because it is out of reach. The story reminds us to avoid making excuses or belittling things we desire but cannot attain, and instead, to acknowledge and accept our limitations gracefully.